Welcome back to the double-fisted, award-winning, curvaceous bounty of Sin City. We're broadcasting to you live out of the Las Vegas Valley and nationwide. No, that was the last clip. At VegasAllNetRadio.com, where we can say, do, and talk about whatever the fuck we want, including Serpico Williams, who says Nanitsky. That's Polish for nay, motherfucking nay. Apparently, Brown Suga is his baby mama, and he just got out of prison. He wants to get back with you, yo.
Hey, Daddy.
Did you miss him?
I miss you, honey.
What was he in for?
Everything.
He's a pimp.
Everything.
Oh, too funny.
Hi, honey,
welcome,
you.
Welcome to the chat, Serpico. That's awesome.
As long as you can keep your pecker in your pants, we're all right.
On camera, anyway.
Why does he?
We like to watch. I mean, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Why?
Why?
Why does he have to keep his pecker in his pants?
He's been in prison. You don't know where that pecker's been.
Well, listen, his pecker would be in even more places if he was out of prison, okay? So, do what you need to do with your pecker, buddy.
Serpico.
Serpico.
Go for it. All right. Brown Sugar.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Who the
First.
fuck are you?
Woo!
Now, first of all, you know what a BBW is.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you known what BBW means?
For about
When were you on the show?
20 years.
Okay, so you've always known about the BBW community and participated in. Are you a participant in the community itself? Do you go to
I try
events?
to do my best.
Do you?
Some events that I went to. The last one I went to was at the Juke Joint.
Okay.
That was earlier this year. That's the last one that I went to.
Okay, because we actually are out in the BBW community quite a bit, and I don't think we've seen you.
No,
Out of the fat
probably
closet.
not, because I've only been to a couple actual events.
Okay.
Because I didn't really know how to get to them, or like the ones that I went to were word of mouth. Someone had told me about them, and actually the one at the Juke Joint, I happened to just stumble upon it. I was there for another event, a birthday party actually, and
that's the BBW takeover, I believe.
Yeah, that's you walk in and you're like, what's with all the fat people?
exactly.
Hey, that's my kind of crowd.
Yeah. So
I actually do that when I go into a place and I see if there's a lot of fat people or a lot of skinny people, and I go, okay, it's my kind of crowd. I think I'll go mingle.
Do the chairs have arms? Nah, we can't do this.
Yeah.
oh my God, exactly, huh?
People don't realize that.
That is, yeah.
Now, how long have you been in Vegas?
I've been in Vegas. Actually, August was 33 years.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait. How the hell old are you?
Good question.
She's 34 years old.
I'll be 41 in December.
Oh, okay. So you moved here when you were young.
Yes, when I was 8. We moved originally from Los Angeles, me and my mom.
From L.A.?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that must be where Serpico's from. In prison.
L.A. County, baby. Although he'd be more like a
LA
SA.
County's the county jail. He in prison. He was up in what the hell? What the hell?
San
Alcatraz?
Quentin.
Yeah,
San
Alcatraz is what I was thinking.
Isn't that closed in like a tourist museum?
Yes. Yes.
Damn, you old, Serpico.
Zombie hotel.
Excuse me. All right, so I met you the other day over on Real Talk with Clever Minds and Miss Please.
Yes.
And you told a story about discrimination at work. So can you tell us your story again? Can you tell us your story?
Well, I've had several, but the one that was really the most, that really took a lot out of me, was I was working for a company, fast food chain. I had been there already about 5 years. I did a total of 10 years with the company. And 5 years, and I was a manager at the time, but I was trying to promote to a higher ranking manager. And every time I would apply, it would never be available, or it was somebody else was better. That was always the excuse that I got. But yet the people that were getting the positions were people that were just getting in there, or they were quote unquote transfers. You know, it was always a different answer, but never a positive answer.
About how many times did you apply for the upper management position?
Probably about 5 or 6 times.
Did you stop after that, or did you? Okay, you just stopped applying.
I just stopped applying because I got tired of the different excuses. It wasn't. I honestly, truly knew that it wasn't right. And then the good thing about that, though, is my manager, my big boss at the time, was also a friend, and I would always ask him, you know, why am I always getting the running around when I'm applying for this position? What are they telling you? And he just kind of looked at me, not on the record. He just said, well, I think that's maybe discrimination. And at first I thought discrimination what? Because I'm black? You know?
But no, because I'm black. I'll bring a whole ton of hurt down on your ass.
I didn't think nothing about being a fat girl was a discrimination. I'm like, because I'm black or because I'm a woman? And then he was like, no.
Oh, yeah, because you got three things now going for you. Black, woman, and fat.
Right. And I'm like, no. He was like, no, probably because of your size. And it blew me away when he said it because I've never.
Okay. First of all, was this for like a super salad place?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we're talking fast food.
Exactly.
Where everything is high calorie anyway, right?
Big Macs and Whoppers and big old fatty burgers, okay?
One of the number one, I'll say it's a top 3 restaurant chain.
Okay.
Is it little?
No, don't make her say it. Don't make her say it.
I'm not gonna make her say it, but is there a star involved?
No star. Well, you're in a good area, but no star. No. But
Okay, well, let me ask. Had some of the people that were promoted above you, were they women?
one of them was.
Okay. Were any of them black?
No.
No. So it could have been racial.
It could have been.
And all of them.
One of them, I don't mean to cut you off. The one that was a woman was Latino.
Okay. Okay, so, well, I know people who like Latinos just fine, but they don't like black people, so, I mean.
That's true.
I don't like any of them.
What did you do with this information when your friend told you this? That it was because you were a big girl?
I was, like I said, I was livid.
Not only was it your friend, but it was an upper management person.
Yeah, and that's what really took me for a surprise because I couldn't say anything. Like, because he told me, quote unquote, off the record again, you know? So I couldn't say anything because it would have affected his job as well.
But here's the thing. Why didn't he say something? If he knew
Right.
that it was...
Yeah, you're
if
right.
he knew...
That was my point.
If he knew you were being discriminated against... And he's like, I don't feel good about you discriminating against this. Why isn't your ass at the labor board going, hey, look, I got this girl, she's trying to get promoted into a higher position, and I know for a fact that they're discriminating against her because of her size. Yeah. Why isn't someone standing up, right, and saying this is wrong?
Yeah. Same thing, my point. I asked, well, what is it that I can do? But I didn't get a lot of answers. So, like, I stayed with the company a few more years, and then I left because there was no chance for improvement. And I could have ranked very high. To this day, I probably could still be with the company because the company was just that good,
so
even though...
You were kind of like your hands were tied. You couldn't do anything, couldn't say anything.
No,
I would have just tried to do something.
No.
I'd have done, if
that was
I'd have taken the other road. If I'd have gone, it's because I'm black.
This was
Because nobody else was getting promoted in that position who was black. I'd have pulled the race card.
Well,
I'd have slapped that shit right down on the table.
You probably wouldn't have even had done anything legal. All you had to do was just say it.
Is it because I'm black? Nope. You'll be starting tomorrow, and your pay raise will be.
Yeah, I think that, but my boss, the guy that told me, was black. So that's why when he said it, I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, you're black, why couldn't I? And I could tell that he was itching him, that he really didn't want to say anything.
Because he knew it was wrong.
Right, because he knew it was wrong. And he said it out of being my friend. And then I said, well, what should I do? Should I stop applying? Should I go hard? Because I don't want to, trip out and cuss everybody out in there and, go to the CEO door, knock on his door. I really want to act up. But he was like, no, basically telling me that it's really out of my hands. And I was young. This was between 88 and 98.
And technically, it is. There's still a lot of states, including Nevada, where fat is not considered
discrimination.
A discrimination.
It's not.
Yeah.
Being that Nevada's a right to work state.
Nevada's right to work, so you can't win.
Right. You can't win with it.
And that's why we have to support groups like NAFA and AAFA, who advocate for rights. For anti-discrimination against
the Association to Advance Fat Acceptance.
I don't think you should be discriminated.
NAFA.
I don't think you should be able to discriminate against anything except qualifications.
Exactly.
If a guy from Princeton applies for this position and has done this position for 10 years, he's going to get the job. If a guy, if a girl from Princeton applies for the position, it shouldn't even matter. Like, I don't think anyone should be
in the
against
best world it shouldn't matter.
No, it shouldn't.
Some companies it doesn't matter but your qualification, but then there's other companies.
But here in Vegas it's always mattered.
Yep. Oh yeah, because it's all about what you look like.
With the showgirls and with the cocktail waitresses. It's only been recently since the changes to cocktail waitress costume, outfits, and cocktail waitress age has changed. 10, 20 years ago, you never would have seen a cocktail waitress over the age of 25.
Well, I got to tell you, that's changing.
I know it is.
I have a friend.
They passed laws for that.
Who is a cocktail waitress at the Hard Rock. And she's been there like 20 years, but she's a beautiful woman. But she's had some health things, and she's now pushing. Now she should be part of our community, okay? Probably 18, 20, but very voluptuous. But she's in the largest size uniform they can order. So
18, 20?
Yeah. So they have come to her.
That a bitch.
They have come to her.
Right?
Well, that's because you're a cocktail waitress.
That's
and
true.
you're at the Hard Rock. So
That's true.
Think of the clientele there. So they
But
came to her.
people that like fat people go to Hard Rock.
I agree. And if she can sling them drinks at any size, I say, hey.
Right.
And so they have come to her, and they have forced her, or kind of like, we're going to loan you this money to go see a nutritionist. The Hard Rock has, and they've put her on a timeline that she has to lose X amount of pounds by a certain timeline.
My goodness.
Now, they've also said to her, if you want to get out of cocktailing, you can go to they've offered her, you go to any of the restaurants and waitress, but she's so damn stubborn and refuses to admit she's fat. This is a person who, at her thinnest, she was beautiful and big tits. She's a friend of a friend. Was disgusted by me.
Wow.
Disgusted. And now she's in that boat. So she's even told my friend, she's like, yeah, I feel bad for everything I said to her back then. But
fat hating whore.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
now she's at the point. So now she's at the point.
That's called karma right there, right?
Right.
Right.
Oh, I hate
She's
that.
at
He's
the
so
point.
shit, I'm
She
fat.
hasn't lost enough weight, and she feels like I should not have to give up my cocktail waitress, and she's going to try to fight.
Here's
and I
the
think
thing.
she's stupid, because she's going to get to the point that you'll have no job. Right now, you can
And
move
no
to
money
another
for the
job,
legal.
Right.
and all of your seniority is still there because
And-
you're still with the same company.
Here's the other thing. Almost 100% of the companies in Nevada include in their application or anything else that you sign that says, I do hereby agree, I, the undersigned, understand that I am physically capable of performing my duties.
Right.
And that means if they say, we don't think you are physically capable of performing your duties anymore, which includes wearing their uniform, then they can fire you or
That's some
transfer you or
bullshit.
get away. No, and well, here's the thing.
You can
I
actually
wouldn't-
say shit.
Okay, thank
You
you.
can
That's some
actually say
bullshit.
Well, I would normally disagree in the case of size discrimination. However, I have met people who checked that box, and now the company can't fire them because they said that they could physically perform the job, but now they're like, they're calling in sick all the time, and they're like, oh, my disease keeps me from actually doing anything, and
Well,
I can't
Nevada,
do
they
this, and I
fire
can't
them.
do that.
Yeah.
No.
Without even thinking.
Actually, I have
Yes,
fired
they
somebody
can.
for not being able to
Nevada's
perform
an
duties.
at-to-work
Yeah.
state, and you don't have to prove
Right.
nothing.
You don't have to
You
prove
got
shit.
no board that's going to
Well-
protect you from that unless you're in a union.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
they
true.
can only do
Well,
so much.
I managed a convenience store for many years, and the number one thing that you have to do at a convenience store is stand on your feet for
8 hours a day.
3, 4 hours at a time sometimes. And the other physical thing is being able to stock the cooler, picking up a 12-pack of beer and putting it on the shelf, or a 24-pack of beer and putting it on the shelf, being able to move it from one spot to another to fill the shelf. And 3 is lifting the bag in the box, because most soda fountains, it's with this box. Right? And those things, the diet, I think, is the lightest, and it's still about 15 pounds. And the heaviest
About
is like
20,
a Coca-Cola is like 25 to 30 pounds.
Right.
So you have to be able to lift those from a position on the floor up onto, or from a shelf onto another shelf. So those are the 3 physical things that you have to be able to do. And when you fill out the paperwork, our application had that on there. Are you able to perform these duties specifically? You have to check each box, and then during the interview process, I go over those questions again, and if they tell me yes, and then they can't do the job, I let them go.
That's right.
Because those are the 3
And they
main
have
things
no
that need to be
protection.
done.
Yep,
And
right,
that's
no protection.
different. That's
And they-
understandable.
And here's the thing: they shouldn't have any fucking protection. If you're gonna lie to get a job and then you can't perform the actual job,
Then your ass
you
needs
should
to be
get
fired.
fired.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Now, I don't think that if they say, you know.
Oh, she doesn't have a problem performing her job. She's just gotten chunkier than they want her to be.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
If she can perform the duties and the same thing of any other cocktail waitress and keep up her quotas and all that stuff, then
if they can't order her uniform in any larger sizes, then she can no longer perform her duties.
She's in the largest size.
Yeah, if she can't fit into the required uniform for that job, then she can't work that job.
I could totally understand that.
But she does fit into the required uniform.
She does now.
What I had a problem with is when she said
they had to make her lose
that they gave her the option of either going to another, but the option that they gave her was to be a fucking waitress.
It's
like there's nothing wrong with the waitress position.
She's doing cocktails now. She's a waitress now in the casino.
That's okay. I see what
you know. And they said that she's getting too big to be on the casino floor. But they said she can pick the restaurant she wants to go. And I mean, she's not a spring chicken. She's probably close to 40 now. Okay. So I personally don't think she's looking long term in her career. Okay. Because come on, you can't be humping cocktails forever.
What you need to do is you need to go in, you need to become waitress, and then you become shift manager, and then become restaurant manager.
Well, and that's what I told my friend, because I don't talk to this girl direct. I'm like, she's better to go into maybe the
food service,
nicest restaurant in there, because as she gets a little older, then she could be a hostess.
Right.
You know, she's good for a career for the rest of her life.
Obviously,
she can't. I mean, come on. Some of the older casinos here in town will allow their cocktail waitresses to get pretty old.
Right.
You know, I've seen them down at Imperial Palace.
It's mostly downtown, though.
Right. These
El Cortez.
Which are going to change soon as
there's a time limit on that. So I think she's going to try to sue them, but I think she's shooting herself in the foot. She should take the longevity with the job.
I think she should too. She could work herself into a management position in food service.
Do you know what stops a lot of people from quitting a job that they probably should quit? I've met a lot of bartenders that either can't perform their duties anymore, they're getting forgetful, or they're getting old and they can't move around and do the stuff that they need to, and they don't want to go anywhere else or do anything else. Do you know what stops them from doing that? Cocktail waitress is one of the main ones too. Is the money.
Yeah. It is a lot of money.
The tipping.
That's exactly one of the reasons she doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
The Hard Rock, she makes a ton of tips a day.
Yeah.
I bet.
Well,
and it doesn't matter what you look like as long as you bring a drink and it's right.
Right.
Yep.
Well, and to them, it does matter what you look like, obviously.
To management. Customers don't give a shit as long as they're wet their whistle.
I'm going to tell you, she's drop dead gorgeous. And this beautiful long brown hair and these, her makeup is impeccable. She's gorgeous. But it was so funny because I hadn't seen her in several years. I'm like, she's a friend of a friend, and she used to talk nasty about me going to the hotels in my bikinis, okay? So a few years ago, I was at the Hard Rock for a dancing job. And I'm done with it, and I'm waiting by the elevator, and I look, and I just glance, and I'm like, whoa, Hard Rock's letting their cocktail waitresses get a little chunky. And then she turns around, and it's her, and I'm like, oh, hi! But yeah, I mean, it's an obvious difference between her and the other cocktail waitresses.
Wow. Hey.
So,
all right.
So where did you move on to from the fast food place? Where did you decide to go after your years there?
I went to a telecommunications company for a few years, and I was back and forth for a while. And then I went and worked for a pharmaceutical company. Excuse me. But again, at the pharmaceutical company, I was applying to be... Well, I was actually applying, which is the next step up, was like a lead position. Not really management, but like you did what management didn't want to do, basically.
Right, like a senior rep or something.
Right. Almost like that, yeah. So I was the top person in this group, and I was always, in the training classes, training new employees. But yet every time I tried to apply for a trainer's position, I never got it. The people underneath me got it, but yet I was the top. They called them SMEs. That's what the position was that I had. I was a top SME, and everybody underneath me, we would all apply because it was always open to us first. We would all apply, and it was always someone underneath me that got the position.
And did you dig a little
At first, I asked a couple of my upper management people, like, why or what's going on? What am I doing? Am I applying for it wrong? Like, what's going on? And everyone was like, no, we don't understand why you didn't get it. Or as soon as another position comes, oh, you're going to get that one. You're next. Good. Just go ahead and apply. But then I would apply and nothing would come up. And I was like, dang, why am I not getting these positions? I never got any direct answers. I even wrote letters to corporate for this particular company, but I think that this particular company was going, I don't know if this is the reason why I didn't get it, but they were going through their own issues, money issues.
Right.
So
Was it NOS?
I used to work for them. That was a telecommunication company I left after the fast food chain.
I used to work there too.
That's why I mentioned it, because I remember you used to work there.
I went through a similar thing at that company. I actually worked in the internet division for 5 years.
And it's funny, I ranked and promoted so fast in NOS, it was not funny. And I ranked really high in NOS. Only reason why I didn't stay is because the company closed down.
That's right.
That's it. But I moved up really good with that company.
All right, it's time for a big break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Brown Suga about school and dating and boys and sex and not being a lesbian.
Yeah, all right. Good job.
This is the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. This is our long break, so don't go away. We'll be about 5 or 10 minutes or so. We've got a couple songs for you. I think I'm going to do some Beyonce and some Beatles. Beyonce and the Beatles.
Sounds good.
Booty!